All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to apostle and elders in New York, GMS, and salutation to y'all around the world that's teaching truth and your lives on the line for it. And shalom to you serious aqua that's learning from the videos. My name is Maya Ka'ala Bun Gad with Chicago branch of Great Millstone. I'd like to make a disclaimer that we're not black Hebrew Israelites. We are Israelites. The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And speckled birds that scattered abroad. Speckled birds are Israelites who look like other nations, but their father's paternal bloodline go back to the 12 patriarchs of Israel. Okay, again, black is a color, not a nationality. Nobody's black like these fonts on this comment board. All right. Nobody walking around white like the background of this comment board. All right. You got two groups of people. You got brown people, all right? You got the nation of Israel, rest of the heathens, they're brown people, all right? And then you got the Edomites, all right? Their skin is translucent, all right? It shows blood and flesh, all right? Like with the Gadai elder, get like various shades of red, like the Gadai elder got the rag on his head, all right? So that's what they call Ada one Edom, all right? So there's no black and there's no white people, okay? All right, so those just names that was made up in the seventh. The white was made up in I think 1681. All right, and black was put on our people in the I believe in the 17, 16, 17, I believe in the 17th century. That was the 17th I'm trying to think. The 1700s, which is the 18th century. So, all right. So, those are not nationalities. Those are bad words that was put by Esau. All right. To hide the fact that that they are the Edomites. All right. We're talking about the so-called white people. Then they had the fact that the so-called Negro and the rest of the tribes are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Okay. All right. So, right here we have Wally Brown, the elder from the Navajo Nation, all right, from Tribe of Gad. It is interesting what his video, what Native Americans call other nationalities. All right, and watch what he say. All right.
Our people have always found ways to apply names to people and to the different nations. And the beginning of it would be when the Europeans first arrived in the land of the Nebuchadnezzar. It was that they were the Spaniards. The Spaniards arrived in the southwest around 1520 or after 1520. And they came up into this part of the continent looking for the 7 cities of gold. And around that time, Ardennes had already received messages from the people to the south, and they were saying that there were new people and they were not a good people. And so they came up, and our people most likely encountered them along the Rio Grande, what is now present-day El Paso, Texas. But our people encountered the Spaniards, and it is said that they very kindly asked them to go home and to go back to where they came from, but to leave. But the Spaniards didn't. They were determined to claim the land area for Spain and also find those 7 cities of gold. But they did prove themselves very vicious and very evil in many ways. And these were such people as Coronado and Cortez and Perez, the Spanish expeditions that came into the southwest. And it was not unusual for them to go into a peaceful Pueblo village and to annihilate many people in just 1 or 2 days. And then those that...
All right. So it says wasn't it says it was unusual to annihilate people like in one day, man. All right. So that's part of prophecy right here. It says Genesis 49. I'm gonna read this in 1. It said, Jacob called to his sons and said, gather yourself together that I may tell you that shall befall you in the last days. All right, so in the last day count started when they crucified Yahushua. All right, so go to Genesis 49 and 19. It said, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at last. All right, so that happened when Esau began to encounter the Gadites, man. All right. Here in North America, man, they brought what? They brought their armies over there. You heard the elder say it was unusual. You know, like one night, man, it just conquered a whole damn village, man. All right, they had an army, they had a troop, man. It said, but he shall overcome at last, right? That's gonna happen when Yahweh shall come back. Yahweh's gonna have the elect among the Gadites, the so-called Native Americans. All right, and it's gonna be him, the angels, and the rest of the 144,000. All right, and the power of Yahweh, they're gonna overcome Esau, man. All right, put Esau in chains, man. They're gonna put Yashala back on top, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. He said right here, it says Micah. Get another scripture, Micah 2:1. All right, he says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, right? Esau can't go to sleep, man, without devising some type of evil plan. When morning is light, they practice it because it is the power of their hand, right? You know, all right, yep. It says, right, Most High got on that power temporary, man, all right? It said, and they COVID fields take them by violence. All right, you see what the elder said, they destroy a village like in one night, man, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. All right. So they oppressed us, man. The 12 tribes of Israel, they took our land, and everything, man, our property, everything, man. You found most all that stuff probably back. It was all types of artifacts, stuff, gold, man. They took. It's all in the Vatican, man. Our books. All right. Esau, they just fulfill Esau, man. All right. That prophecy fulfillment with Esau, man. Then it said what they was it was evil and cruel, man. Go right here. It said, well, Amos chapter 1, verse 11. It said, thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgressions eat, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and cast off all pity. His anger did tell petry, and it kept his wrath forever, right, man? All right, that's why Esau did with our people, man. He kept his wrath forever, man. He put us well with the sword back during that time, 1500s. All right. They used the actual sword, then move on, man. The gun, the Gatling gun. All right. Then you got the atomic bomb. Now you got the nuclear missiles. Or you got Esau military. You got his police force. You got chemical warfare. You got psychological warfare. All right. So that's Esau's sword. Esau was blessed with that, man. So you're not going to defeat Esau with carnally, man. You got to defeat him spiritually, man, like the brothers are doing now, man. All right, the brothers on the highways and byways defeating Esau spiritually, man, coming out the scriptures, man, and condemning him, and Esau can't take it, man. All right. Okay, so let's go back to the elder. Oh man, I hate that happened. All right, so so let's go back what the elder said. All right.
They did prove nations, and the beginning of it would be when the Europeans first arrived in the land of the Navajo. It was that they were the Spaniards. The Spaniards arrived in the southwest around 1520 or after 1520, and they came up into this part of the continent looking for the 7 cities of gold. And around that time, Ardennes had already received messages from the people to the south, and they were saying that there were new people and they were not a good people. And so they came up, and our people most likely encountered them along the Rio Grande, what is now present-day El Paso, Texas. But our people encountered the Spaniards, and it is said that they very kindly asked them to go home and to go back to where they came from. but to leave. But the Spaniards didn't. They were determined to claim the land area for Spain and also find those 7 cities of gold. But they did prove themselves very vicious and very evil in many ways. And these were such people as Coronado and Cortez and Perez, the Spanish expeditions that came into the Southwest. And it was not unusual for them to go into a peaceful Pueblo village and to annihilate many people in just 1 or 2 days. And then those that they could capture, they put.
All right. So right here, let's go back to, it says right here, the curses, all right? Deuteronomy, right here, Deuteronomy 28, 4. Just gonna put that in there, all right? It says Deuteronomy 28 and 49, say Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, as the son of Esau the eagle, a nation whose tongue thou shalt understand. They the guy that didn't understand Esau, man. All right. So that's why Esau brought his translators who spoke Hebrew and other Hebrew. All right. Or they'll learn the language that Jake had invented themselves while they was over here. You know. All right. It says a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. All right. And that's why they had sent on I forgot his name. I forgot the ancestor name. All right. But he was a Moor, or he's an Israelite, and he learned the Gadites language and stuff. All right, so he communicated with Esau. All right. So it says, a nation whose tongue thou shalt understand, a nation of fierce counters, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. All right. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he had destroyed thee. All right, so that's what happened, man. All right, that's what happened when Esau came upon the tribe of Gad and the rest of the tribes, right, in the Americas, man. All right, he said one night. Wow, man. All right, so I'm gonna go back a little bit. All right. All right, so I'm gonna go back a little bit, play it out.
Not unusual for them to go into a peaceful Pueblo village and to annihilate many people in just 1 or 2 days. And then those that they could capture, they put them in chains and send them back to Spain.
He said those they could capture, they put them in chains and sent them back to Spain. All right, so that's part of the curses, man. All right. It says, let me get right here. It says Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It said, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies with your house and sin against thee, and hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee. All right. What's another one? The iron in heaven. It says Deuteronomy 28:23. This is double folded. All right. It says, thy heaven that's over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thy feet shall be iron. All right. It's talking about the rain stuff. All right. Gonna be the product. Also, that's talking about those chains around your neck and also around your feet, man. All right. All right. And then you go right here. It says Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Let me get this right here. All right, it said Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It said Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again. That's captivity. All right. And also talking about America. All right. America's spiritual Egypt. It said with ships, by the way, I spake unto thee. All right. With ships, because we could walk 3 days. We was in our land in Egypt. All right. And also we was in the physical Egypt. All right. The physical Egypt in that, in Africa. All right. The land of Cum. All right. That's how I said Ham correctly. Cum in Hebrew. All right. Means hot. All right. So, in the land of Ham, he was in there. All right, the first captivity. All right, this captivity is what? This is Egypt. All right, America is Egypt. Also, America means Salak. Egypt means bondage, captivity, man. All right, that's in Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 6. All right, because the so-called Haitians, the tribe of Levi, they came to Hispaniola, the island, all right, which is now Haiti, Dominican Republic. That wasn't America, all right. So the Gadites, these Pueblo, they got put in chains. They got what sent to Spain, man. All right, it's saying Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way of spake unto thee, and thou shalt see it no more again. All right, so a whole nation we should see the land of Israel. All right, all together. All right, we remove far from our borders, man. All right, it says our borders. We was in Africa or no surrounding countries. All right, it says thou shalt see it no more again, and there you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. No man shall buy. All right, so Mosiah gave us up unto our enemies, and we end up on what the auction blocks, man. And that's what happened to these guys, man. They end up on the auction blocks. All right. While they bring the so-called Negroes, the Southern Kingdom over here, they was taking the Gadites and they was shipping them to the other side, man. All right. It says Deuteronomy 28:64. It says, "How shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even to the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor fathers had known, even wood and stone." Was that wood? That is Christianity, Catholicism, right? That stone is what Islam, man. All right, so what do you think happened to the Pueblo, the Gadites, when they came to Spain, man? They brainwashed them with the Catholic religion, man, which is Christianity, man. Plantation Christianity 1.0. All right. All right, so these curses it lined up with the history of the so-called Native Americans, so-called Latinos, and so-called Negroes, man. That's how you know they are. They're Israelites. I always bring the scripture out, man. Deuteronomy 28:45. Moreover, all the curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to keep his commandments and his statute which he command thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder upon thy seed forever. So that's how you know who are the Israelites, man. That's how you know who are the Israelites. And the Most High is going to gather his people from all around the world, man. All right. All right, because you still got the descendants of Gadites sold in Spain, man. All right. It says right here, it said, "For lo, I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sieve, and yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth, man." All right, so I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, man. All right, so whoever the elect among those Gadites in Spain, the elect among the Gadites, the Issacharites, uh, the Asherites, all right, whoever this, all those tribes in Spain, man, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, man, all right, Mosiah gonna bring them home, man, the elect and the 1/3 of Mundell. Okay, so this it, and you can look at the rest of his video, man. He has some other interesting things. All right, he has other interesting videos on his site. All right, so hey, the mic been dropped. Shalom.